finally here. I've been waiting on this beauty for about a week and a half, 2 weeks. I called up Mark Mickey. I said, hey Mark, I want to try something. Are you down to try something with me? He said, for sure. So, gave him the specs of what we had inside the car, what we wanted to test. Me and Dad want to try something out different. So we hit up old M&M, Mark Mickey, and asked if we could get something to possibly help our program. We have to go test it. We have to see if it's gonna progress or if it's gonna put us behind. Won't know until we go get it done. But by seeing other people, what they got going on and putting our knowledge to it, I think it's gonna be in the right direction. So could possibly be the next biggest thing to our program right inside that box. So today's video, we're gonna go ahead and open it up. We're gonna see what's inside. We're gonna talk a little bit about it. We're gonna actually speak on why we decided to go with it. And hopefully in the near future, it makes Prenup, the LEXUS, a whole lot faster. All right guys, so we're out here in the pole barn. The LEXUS is up in the trailer. There's nothing that we have to do to it right now. We broke a rear gear at the last race. I think we went 381 was the best pass that we pulled off, 200 mile an hour. We're going down to Bradenton Motorsports Park next weekend. Hopefully we can go faster than that. Hopefully we can pull off some more mile an hour. We did make some changes, but in the last run, we did break the rear gear. So we took the rear gear out of the car at the racetrack, gave it to Carmack, Justin Carmack, good buddy of mine. He helped us out with all our rear center sections. Gave him that one and the other three that I had in the trailer because I do have a lot of runs on these gears throughout the years. So I told him it was just time to freshen them up. So we gave them to Justin. He took them back. He's freshening them up. He's bringing them back down to us at Bradenton Motorsports Park, where me, Kyle, Big Daddy Brian, and all of us will throw it up in the LEXUS, and then we'll get ready and start testing again. With a couple passes on it at Orlando, we were able to scratch off a 381, 200 mile an hour. I want to go faster. I think this car has 70s in it. We just got to push it a little bit harder and see if we can get it. But got Dad's new truck right here behind us. He finally got it done. If y'all seen it on the channel about a year ago, he purchased this little beauty. He had it all redone, painted, all new trimming, everything's done it. This truck is 100% rust-free. No Bondo, nothing in it. It came out beautiful. I'm happy for him. Hopefully he doesn't get too mad that I'm about to use his tailgate to open up my new Mark Mickey package. But this thing came out awesome. Look how nice that thing is. Y'all notice we got a ghost that lives in the rig. So that was another thing that we updated on the rig. We got this new unit over here. Basically what it does is whenever it senses that the batteries are getting low, it kicks on and it keeps the rig all charged up and everything working good. So that's what you hear when that thing fires up. It'll probably run for about 5 minutes and then it'll shut off. But enough of me talking, let's go ahead and jump into this box. So anyways, guys, I'm gonna put a towel down because like I said, my dad just had this truck done, so I don't want to give him no reason to want to cuss me out. But hopefully everybody had a great Thanksgiving. We had a lot of food. Dad actually cooked too much, so he gave one of the turkeys away to one of the guys uptown. All right, Mark, how'd you do this? What you got? Why'd you have to make it difficult? All right, guys, so inside this box is a Mark Mickey racing converter. I'm gonna go ahead and start off with now that we will not be putting this converter inside Prenup for Bradenton next weekend. We have been running a lockup all season. Marty Chance, great dude, has helped me out tremendously in my years of racing. Has helped me and Dad to be able to get where we're at. Beginning of the season, we tried to run a non-lockup deal, and we just weren't able to get it 100% efficient. So that's why we had to run the lockup at No Prep Kings. We were having issues with it holding the motor up high. It was supposedly taking out the Pro Chargers because the motor was hanging up in high gear. Whenever we would try to make a stator change, a pump change, it would either be too loose down low, too tight up top, or too loose up top, too tight down low. We tried everything for the first 2 races. We did run out of time, so that's why we ran a lockup deal. We are going to try a chance non-lockup as well, but there is a lot of people that run Mark Mickey's converters. He has worked on a non-lockup setup for many, many years. Ryan Martin runs Mark Mickey converter and transmission. I run a Liberty 5-speed. Ryan gets to weigh less than I do because he runs a non-lockup. He actually gets to weigh 100 pounds less than me and the Lexus because of the lockup difference. I don't think the lockup is worth 100 pounds. I don't think they're going to change the rules. So for next year, we are going to test some stuff out. And we're going to figure out what we can do to get faster, because I do feel, and I 100% believe this, that I am the only competition for Ryan. Not to my own horn, not to say anything bad about anybody else. I think that my car, whenever Ryan has to run us, he knows he has to put a super big tune-up in it, and he knows he has a race every time. We have raced a total of 4 times this season, and he has beat me 3 out of the 4. I beat him once in Georgia. I've been out front in 2 of the other races, and he drove around me at the other end, and that's where I think the weight is going to play a factor in that area. 100 pounds in these cars is worth about 5 to 6 numbers. So if you got a car that goes 410, or just say 420, if you got a car that goes 420, 100 pounds off of it, he's probably going to run between, I don't know, a 413, 414, somewhere in that area. So you have to try to make that up. So when I was out front, and I was out front by about half a car, and he just drives around me at the other end, it's not that he's making more horsepower or what he's got going on. He's just carrying less weight. So me and Dad spoke. We said, you know what? For us to try to get out in front, we got to try to work on the rules for our program, or work within the rules of our program, and try to get faster. So that was the goal. And I called Mark up. I didn't even tell my dad or anything what I had going on. I said, you know what, I'm going to go ahead and get this thing ordered and bring it over here. And we're going to test some stuff in the off season. Y'all are going to get to see a lot of testing, because we are going to take this time off that we have after Bradenton race. We're taking the car over to Cameron's to put headlights and a grill in it. And then we're going out and we're going testing. And we're going to figure out what we can do to get this thing to go faster, because I am tired of Ryan Martin driving away from me. So we and Dad, we got us an understanding. We're going to go test. We're going to figure it out. I told him I'd give him my all. He said he'd give it his all. We're going to figure this thing out together. But that's the reason why I went ahead and got this converter. We are going to see how it performs, how it works under our program. Mickey has gotten the converter so efficient to where their converters really run within 1%. When a converter is locked up, it runs at 0% slip out the back. So if he can get his at 1% or less, or sometimes it even runs at 0, it just depends on the track, with that non-lockup weight and it's still running lockup numbers, there's a lot of benefits right there. So that's what we're going to try to do. So thank you for Mark Mickey for working with me, getting this thing out super fast. We are not going to test it for next week because I don't have no data or anything on it right now, but check out the styrofoam and everything. Dude, that's awesome. Even got his shirts. Yes, I wear a double XL. I'm a 2X guy. So we got blue and black shirts. Here's the spacers, and I'll explain a little bit more about that here in a minute of what the spacers do. But let's go ahead and pull this beauty out. Look at that. All billet. The front side is not billet. I asked Mark, I said, do you think I should buy a billet one or what should we do? And he said, no, just go ahead and get this one. We'll put a backside billet piece on it. And we'll go from there. Make sure there ain't a little bit of fluid in there. So, anyways, first off, let's talk about this 1-inch thick billet spacer right here. This thing is a beauty. It is made in the USA. Shout out Mark Mickey. Reason why we have to run this. Not everybody has to run this. So Ryan doesn't have to run this. We have to run this because I have a lockup bell housing in the car. Because we run a lockup converter with our quick drive and our 5-speed. Let me move this camera a little bit for y'all. So I told Mark, or Mark actually mentioned to me, he said, if you're gonna keep the bell housing and it'll actually be cheaper on you, I will build you this 1-inch, thick billet aluminum piece that will bolt onto the converter, and then our converter bolts that go through the flywheel will actually bolt onto this. I said, you know what, that's perfect. In case I ever want to switch back, lock up, non-lock up, we'll see where the rules go. So that's awesome. So that's why this piece is here. These are shims for the converter. So you have to pull the converter out so far out of the pump of the transmissions, the quick drive, and you have to make sure, if not, it'll just wipe out the pumps inside the transmissions. So there's all different kinds of spacers here. When we get this up in the car, we'll have to see where it's at, hopefully pull it out a little bit and get us close to our flywheel. It doesn't pull out too much. I really don't like running the spacers, but it just depends on where you're gonna be at. But I already gave Mark and everybody the info that we needed, so hopefully this thing just goes ahead and bolts in the car, and there's not a whole lot of work to it. But if there is, it's not a big deal. That's why he gave us this deal in this setup. So, hey Oakley. Oakley! You out here just running around? So, anyways, like I was saying, so new converter will be going in the car so we can test and get it all ready. It's a complete beauty. I'm hoping this deal here changes our program around. Where's Tyler at? He got you out here just running around? I kind of went off of Mark's word, as in he has ran these setups behind a setup similar to mine. So he kind of has idea, and then just kind of gave him some ideas of what we had going on, and he said he believes this is going to be our ticket. So we are going to get this thing inside the car soon and get out and start testing it. But I was so happy for this thing to show up. It cost a lot of money to be able to get this piece. He helped me out a lot, but I think this is gonna be our deal. Hey, knock that shit off. I think this is gonna be our ticket to get faster, because one, we are going to be able to take more weight out of the car running it at non-lockup. Two, we'll see if we can get it as efficient as the lockup converter, because y'all can hear it in the car when that thing locks up. It goes 1-to-1. It's got 0% slip, and that thing's ready to roar. It's just carrying an extra 100 pounds. Now, if the weights were the same, we would not be having this conversation. They just have a 100-pound penalty on the guys that run a lockup over the guys and girls that do not run a lockup. And I do not think the 100 pounds is worth it. So we are going to get some stuff done. We have to change some things. Like I said, the car will be going to Cameron Johnson Race Cars, because we are getting headlights and a grill put in it. We will have updates on the 69 Camaro coming here soon. We will be out testing, trying to get this thing figured out. All right, guys, so like I was saying, I'm glad I was able to get this piece in. It's in my hands now. We got to get through Bradenton next weekend. I do know this car has a 70 in it somewhere, so we are going to be trying extremely hard next weekend. If we can run 70 anything, I'll be happy with that. We are 120 pounds overweight for what those cars are running out there, so for them to go 66, 67, we're not too far behind. I feel like if we were able to get down the weight, we would be able to run those numbers with them as well. But this is a steel roof, steel quarter car. It's a lot different than a carbon fiber Pro Mod. Similar chassis, but the body and everything is what dictates on what we got going on, and being aerodynamic. Pro Mod is chopped, has a chopped roof. It's a lot lower to the ground. It's narrower, so more aerodynamics. My car is a factory Lexus, so that will hinder us, but it's not going to stop us. We're going to go out there, and I'm going to try to go 70s. That's my goal. I've been plenty of fast in other cars, but this car here, I want it to go 70. So that's going to be our end goal. And then after that, we are going to start testing out new things. We got different gears coming for the transmission. We got a different rear gear. We got different converters. We're going to be testing some stuff out. We're going to wear this car out, trying to get it tested, and then we'll figure out what's going to happen for next year. We are going to the street. We've already spoke on that, and we got to wait till our second car is done. When my second car is done, then I will take Prenup and put her on the street. But not until second car is done. We're going to have a meeting with Cameron later on next week, figure out a little bit better time frame on the car. He's been sending me photos and everything, updating me as we go, and he's knocking previous builds out, and he's knocking my build out as well. So I'm happy about that. But hopefully y'all enjoyed this deal. Make sure you subscribe to the channel, turn that bell notification on. I got a lot of stuff coming in, so there's gonna be a lot of shorter videos, but I'm okay with that. I wanna start showing y'all some more stuff. So I appreciate it. I'm Justin Swanstrom, and I'll see y'all later. Hopefully we can get this car in the 70s next weekend, and hopefully this deal right here puts us up front at No Prep Kings Season 5 next year.